What's up, everybody, and welcome to a very special edition of the TNR Sports Show. My name's Trennon, and I'm coming at you live on Monday afternoon to discuss the NFL. But first, I want to do some housekeeping items. For now, there won't be another TNR episode until I believe the 26th or the 27th, maybe the 28th. I think the 28th. That's the day that we picked. So we're going to take a little Christmas sabbatical. There's not going a lot in the college world right now. There is some college basketball, but there's not much. So I think it's best we just take a little break to come back to the college sports. I'm going to make in these little smaller videos on the channel are going to be NFL focused. So if you're into that, click and like these videos. But the NFL videos are going to be shorter, and the college videos are going to be the longer podcasting type episodes. So with that being said, I also want to say that in the new year, we plan on coming out and having a full on State of the Union. I'm going to come out with a State of the Union, kind of discuss where we stand as a channel and kind of where we're going and such of that nature. I want to just make it clear, what we're planning to do, how we're planning to do it, and stuff like that. So I'm excited. I'm excited for this year. I'm excited for everything that we've accomplished, and I want to thank you all for liking and subscribing to the channel. And like I said, the shorter videos are going to be NFL focused or pro sports focused, and the longer videos are going to be more college sports. So if you're here for the college sports, which I do appreciate, be on the lookout for that. This is going to be primarily NFL. With that being said, I want to break down some things I've noticed from the NFL in the recent couple weeks and months. Not weeks, this past week. I believe this was week 15. And we got a couple games coming up and a couple games that have already happened. So this is coming out on Monday afternoon. So first, we had a couple of big games yesterday. The Steelers, who I'm a fan of, beat the Titans on an incredible play by Joe Hayden. The offense looks inept, and the Steelers need to go 2-1 in these next couple games if they have any chance of making the playoffs. They've got the Chiefs up next, um, and we've got the Browns and the Ravens. So that's kind of where we stand there. The Saints game last night versus the Bucks, very Bucks-esque. They are kind of falling apart at the seams. It seems like a lot of their main players are hurt. I believe Chris Godwin strained his MCL or tore his ACL. Depends on who you ask. Certain companies are saying different things. The Tampa Bay Mike Evans has a strained hamstring. He's week to week, and I believe Leonard Fournette also has a strained hamstring, so he's week to week. So we could see a little collapse of the Bucks here as the injury bug seems to pile up. The Cowboys won yesterday. Another big takeaway is the Lions beating the Cardinals. The Cardinals look terrible. It was an obvious letdown spot against that big game they just had last Monday night against the Rams, but it didn't seem that bad. The Lions won that game 30-12. It wasn't even competitive for a majority of the game. Kyler Murray looked bad, threw some bad interceptions. The offense looked bad. Their defense looked terrible. So the NFC is starting to look a little vulnerable. So we'll see what happens there. Other than Aaron Rodgers put on a show yesterday for the majority of America. He beat the Ravens, the Lamar Jackson less Ravens. It didn't seem to matter as the quarterback they had in there. I think his name was Hundley. Was very good yesterday for Baltimore. He fits that system perfectly. He's like a Lamar Jackson clone almost. So he fit that system perfectly. I thought he was very good yesterday. Probably made himself some money somewhere in the NFL if they want to take that risk and try to sign him. So I think that was good for them as well. So I think overall, a fun day yesterday in the NFL. Nothing too groundbreaking. Most of the bigger teams won. The teams who were supposed to win won, except for the broken Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But we'll see how good Tom Brady is because you gotta watch out because Tom Brady. He's getting old. He's gonna have to carry this team pretty far. I mean, their defense is still very good, but the Saints' offense is kind of bad, so it's hard to say one way or the other. On Saturday, you had the Colts beating the Patriots. Um, that kind of seems obvious when you look at it. Like Patriots are riding such a high wave. They needed an obvious letdown spot. They're not infallible, no matter what everybody says. The Patriots can be beaten. So that game on Saturday was kind of obvious that it could have swing that way. Um, I think overall the Colts could be dangerous in the playoffs if they get everything clicking. Who knows with Carson Wentz? He's such a mystery. But I think overall they could find themselves having a good amount of success moving forward. The Chiefs and the Chargers played on Thursday night. That was a lot of fun. That was a great football game. Patrick Mahomes looked incredible. Justin Herbert looked incredible. Both great, talented football players. I think the Chiefs are all the way back. I think be hard for me to say they're not going to win the Super Bowl at this point, or at least be competitive for it. I know the Packers have looked very good, and the Cowboys have also looked very good. Be something that those teams met early in the playoffs. I bet the Cowboys aren't one that they will probably wait for Green Bay, hopefully get knocked out or something else. So, I think you look at your big dogs in the NFL right now. I would say the Chiefs, the Cowboys, probably the Patriots, the Chiefs, the Cowboys, and the Packers are kind of your big dogs on the park right now, especially after Arizona losing that game to Detroit. It's bad, and they had all their players and not a lot of injuries, and that's not good for the Chiefs. It's just not. I think overall, yesterday was a lot of fun in football. It was one of the better NFL Sundays. A lot of these Sundays have been absolutely awful, and yesterday produced a lot of great football. I mean, you could argue that that Tampa Bay game was good. It just depends on your point of view and if you like defensive football games. If you don't, you probably thought it was gross. And it was kind of gross, but it was very defensive heavy. I think it was like the first time Tom Brady's been held to zero in like a long time. So that was important to know. I don't think he's losing a step. I just think the injuries are killing them. So we got a kind of weird schedule moving forward. So at 5 o'clock today, the Raiders are playing the Browns, which is like, what? And because of COVID, so they moved that game to today. The Vikings are playing the Chicago Bears tonight at 8:15. By the time this video comes out, the Browns game would already probably be half over, and the Vikings and the Bears hadn't even started. So that gives you some relative of when I'm recording this. The Seahawks and the Rams and the Washington football team and the Eagles all play tomorrow. COVID can hit the NFL pretty hard, so I think they had a tough time rescheduling and stuff like that. But I think overall, pretty good weekend in the NFL. I'm excited to see what move forward. As a Steelers fan, I'm nervous. I'm hopeful and nervous at the same time. They've got some tough games coming up. The Chiefs is going to be incredibly difficult. I'm kind of worried about that. Any team with a high-powered offense seems to blow us out if we don't have a good defensive game plan, aka the Cincinnati Bengals. They blew us out twice, so I don't know what was going on there then, but what are you gonna do, right? But I'm pretty hopeful. I think Big Ben, this is probably gonna be his last ride. It'd be shocking if he came back. I just don't think it's possible at this point. But I'm excited to see kind of how we move forward. I'm excited to watch Aaron Rodgers continues to impress. Dak Prescott and the Cowboys are obviously very good. And I think they're both going to have a shot at the number one seed moving forward. They need Green Bay to lose a couple more. It seems like Green Bay is going to try to take that top spot from in the NFC. So we'll see what happens there. Also, the Patriots need to see. I need to see that they need to buy. I don't think they're built to go on the road as Kansas City or really anywhere. So they probably need to buy really bad. But overall, big win for the Steelers yesterday. Big win for the Packers. I'm interested to see how the Rams respond on a Tuesday night. I know the opponent they're playing isn't that great. Let me see who it is again. The Seahawks, they're a little down this year, so I think the Rams should be favored, especially with it being at home. I think that makes a big difference. But it seems like the Rams are the kind of the pick of LA, where the Chargers are kind of like not, which seems obvious at this point if you've been paying attention. But Matthew Stafford looked very good, so we'll see how that rolls out. And that Vikings Bears will be a snooze fest. Why do they keep putting the Bears on prime time? They're awful. They're terrible. They're an awful football team. Somehow they keep getting prime time games. They're awful. Do people not realize that? They're a bad football team. Bad. Bad. And their coach is terrible too. Bad football team, bad. But overall, that's my NFL recap. Like I said, no podcast this week. You won't get one until next Wednesday or Tuesday, I believe, before the bowl games kick off. So we're gonna keep following on that. Follow our Instagram, TNR Sports on Instagram, TNR Sports One on Twitter if you want to follow us there. I'm at TNR Hog, TNR_Hog. And you can follow Ryan's socials. I'll put them in the bio. I don't remember what they are at this moment. But thank you for watching. That's where the podcast is this week. No podcast this week, Christmas week. We will be back. I'll probably post another NFL preview / recap later on in the week just to have something flowing out there. But that's where we stand right now. I will be back with updated bowl information and such of that nature next week. Next week for your college guys. And we're going to come out with State of the Union in January. So that's where we stand. I want to thank everybody for liking, subscribing, watching the podcast. We will be back. Thanks for watching the TNR Cover NFL Football. TNR and the NFL. TNR and the NFL.